You want some advice? Take your fancy clothes and your black silk underwear and go back to Disneyland.
Come on, kids, let's walk over a mile. Get to where we're going. Hello everyone, it's time to eat the magic. We are back at the Disney parks. It is time for a touch of Disney. We were brought into the Mickey and Friends lot. It was kind of a complicated thing. They're spacing cars and it took a lot longer to park than we expected. So make sure if you're going to this to add a little extra time so you can park and not feel stressed or rushed. This is the first ticketed food event that we've been able to attend at a Disney park, and we're looking forward to seeing how they handle everything. And this will of course be a preview of how the parks will look when they fully open up later in April. So there's no tram, we get to just walk and walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. So we made it to the entrance. It's a long walk down that tram road, but we got here with the noon sun beating down upon us. We have made it, and now we're just a very short line away from getting into the park. Yay! So one of the things that comes along with your entry is, of course, the map alongside all the different food options. So it's always helpful to have all those. So not everything is opened, but a lot of things are. A lot of them are having their standard foods. There's a few type of things that seem new. Having some trouble deciding what to have, especially because I haven't had breakfast, as I usually don't before these kind of food events. So everything sounds good for lunch. But we'll choose something in just a moment. Who wants to sit inside their brains?
So I was just about to tweet like, yeah, I think we're gonna be booking a Florida trip soon. Of course, as I was about to tweet this song plays. It's a sign. We'll see you in Florida soon.
So we just stopped by Cozy Cone, we grabbed root beer floats. They even have the option of the swirl, which is kind of nice. That is refreshing. Of course it is like mid-80s and the sun is being a jerk. Although some of the ice cream want to move off the straw.
Would you like a spoon?
I might need it, but we'll try.
I'm handing you a spoon.
Overall, it's good. It's I can't even get this top off. Forget about it. Yeah, I mean, it's nice root beer. The ice cream being the soft serve is kind of interesting. It gets a little thick and difficult to drink up with the paper straw. But I think if I let it melt a little bit, it'd probably be a bit better. Overall, nice. I mean, there's a lot of drink options, and depending on how hot it is, you're probably going to need them. Well, there we go. Yeah, the chocolate works pretty well with it. I'm usually a vanilla ice cream kind of person when it comes to floats, but chocolate actually works pretty well for this. Alright, so we went over to Cozy Cone, we got some of our favorites. We have the bacon macaroni cone, and we have the chili cone carne. So let's see if these still hold up to our memories. That is really good. It is a really good chili. It has cheese, and of course the Fritos on top to give it a little extra texture and crunch. Very delicious. Highly recommend it. As for the macaroni and cheese and bacon, it's hard to go wrong with that combination. It is very cheesy. And the bacon adds a nice little extra flavor and texture to it. Probably enjoyable for both kids and adults, honestly. In addition to all that, you also have the bread cone here when you're done that you can go and eat as to expand your meal even further. It's time for me to eat all of this.
Alright, so we're having problems with our gift vouchers, the $25 gift cards that they gave us when you enter in. Apparently they're not working and they're not syncing up with our app, with the Disneyland app. So right now we had to go to guest relations to sync those vouchers so we can grab more food. Because the last order we did had to be through my credit card. Yay! Good job, Disney. Alright, so they told us to go to guest relations over here in the background to take care of our card, but a cast member told us it was closed. Normally, I'm usually super chill when it comes to like Disney and whatnot. I'm not one of those people who complain. I mean, hey, I'm just a person behind the camera right now. In front of the camera because, yeah, Jay is saving all the rage. So, we're gonna try to get to the bottom of this to get the $25 on our voucher. And if this is the content, this is the content. Okay, people, looks like we were able to resolve the issue. Looks like it was like an issue with the app. And we had a couple of cast members help us up at the front entrance. Thank you very much, whomever you are. And let's continue this food adventure through Nuka Cola World, aka Disney's California Adventure.
We're heading down to the Pacific Wharf to have Bengal barbecue of all things. So yeah, if you're missing out on some of your favorite Disney foods, don't worry, they're here too. Through a very long and crazy adventure, we somehow have all our food gathered in one sitting. So we're gonna go through a little of everything. For those of you familiar with the Bengal barbecue, this is the chicken skewer. It has tasty sauce on it. It's not bad. I think when it comes to skewers, over the years, I think I prefer the beef over the chicken. Chicken's not too bad, it's very moist. It has that sauce, which is pretty good too. So, but here's the real good, the better choice. Oh my god, I forgot how good the beef skewers are. That's delicious. Again, nice and moist, easy to chew, has a good tasty sauce on it. Definitely worth grabbing, especially if you are a big fan of Bengal barbecue. You gotta make your way back there. And they're even serving Monte Cristo, a little bit smaller than the standard one you would grab, but not too bad. We will see how well this turned out, being a grab here instead of going to the usual place at the other park to grab it. That's still very good. For those who don't know, it's a deep fried sandwich with ham and cheese, and it's delicious. Powdered sugar. So, all our food options here we grabbed were all really good. Alright. Hard to see which one's which, but we'll figure it out. Alright. One of the specialty drinks they have right now is the frozen Coke with either rum or whiskey. I'm not sure which one's which, so we'll just take a sip. I should be able to figure it out pretty quick. That's a whiskey Coke right there. It's not too bad. So this should be our rum. Both blend pretty well. The frozen Coke thing's kind of interesting because it's almost like a slushy. The Coke, if you've ever had one of those cola flavored slushy type things. So basically what you're getting here with the booze flavored. It's not too shabby, honestly. Oof. Oh god, I'm already getting a brain freeze. So be careful with that. I don't know if it's the booze, I don't know if it's just because it's so hot. Just got a quick little brain freeze there. Yeah, it's a different kind of thing. I kind of like it. And on a hot day like today, it might be one of the better alcohol-related drink options because it's not your typical kind of thing. And, you know, rum and Coke or a Jack and Coke, whatever your favorite is, go for it. You won't be disappointed. It's evening time here at Radiator Springs, and we have one of the specialty churros. Today, they are offering the cookies and cream churro. So we have our churro here. Ooh, this one's
Milk
really
and
good.
cookies churro.
Milk and cookies.
Okay, all right. Okay, we can restart. That's not a big deal.
Milk and cookies. It's good. Like dust.
Okay.
Right. Hey everyone, it is evening time here in Radiator Springs. They have a specialty churro, and this time it is the milk and cookies churro. Like that smell. It smells cookie-ish. Let's take a bite. Okay, so I got the cinnamon there. A little bit of like a cookie-ish flavor there. The cinnamon dust is nice. It's a dipping churro, which of course we all know how I feel about dipping churros, but we'll give the dip a try. Because that's what we do here on the show. It's a, it's almost like kind of like a Bavarian cream almost. I'll try it together. I will point out I have not had milk and cookies since I was a little kid, so comparing this to that is difficult to do, but the churro is really good. It has a slightly different flavor than your standard churro. I mean, the Bavarian cream type sauce is always nice. It's definitely a richer cream. pretty good combination, yeah. So when they bring this back as a specialty item, give it a chance when you have the try. Give it a try when you have a chance. Boy. And, yeah. Now, that being said, it's still a dipping churro, which still annoys me, but for the sake of what it is, you do dip milk in cookies. You know, you dip the cookies into milk, so I'll let it slide this once. But if they come up with some other kind of churro, you need to try to at least stuff it or change the flavor of the exterior of the churro, please. But for a dipping churro, this is okay because of the theming and the flavor.
Okay.
We have totally have more of this. There, so we got a dessert in there.
Hey everyone, this is just kind of our post touch of Disney thoughts. We'll have a better background in the future. We're kind of in the process of moving. It's kind of very rare for like the two of us to kind of be on screen together. So hi, in case if you don't know, I'm Scarlett.
And of course you know me, I'm Jared, the host.
Yeah, so we just got back from Touch of Disney. It's about 8:51 p.m. Pacific time. Event closes at 8 o'clock, so we just literally just got back. As you can see here, Jared's already like, yeah, I kind of want to wind down tonight.
Yeah, I am basically a high ball away from being happy. But this is an interesting one. Most of the times when we do these food events, we don't usually have this kind of post-mortem kind of thing going on. We're usually, I'll give a few final thoughts and, we wrap it up. But this one...
it's special.
This one had problems. This might be the worst of these food type events I've gone to. I went expecting it to be more like when they do Festival of Holidays, or what's the other one they do over at DCA?
They did a Lunar New Year theme one.
Lunar New Year, that's what it is.
They do Food and Wine Festival. Yeah. We have a shorthand version here.
Not nearly as cool.
Not as nice as Epcot.
No.
Because Epcot, we've never gone to their food festivals, but we watch a lot of live streams that like just go around Epcot Food and Wine Festival. Like, yeah, that's definitely something we want to do. I really want to do the Art Festival and Flower and Garden Festival because those look like a lot of fun. So
when we do those over here in the West Coast, we used to do the little, large, there's photos of me and you can watch any little videos. It's a large card, usually it has the tabs on the side. I think on the last one we did, it had just the QR code that they could boop.
Yeah, Knott's, they had the QR code, and you were guaranteed about like 5 meals or so. When we did Taste of Boysenberry, when we did Universal, you got a punch card, and it would just punch out like
5 or 6 on that as well.
Yeah.
And so that's what we were expecting.
We wanted to go into Touch of Disney, like no spoilers. Let's just kind of go with it with a fresh mind.
I didn't think we needed spoilers. I figured it was going to be, like any of these other festivals, just Disney food.
Because you kind of figure like, okay, Disney is a third of these 3 major theme parks in California to do a food festival. And you kind of figured like just kind of observing from Universal, even though that like was open around about the same time as Disney, and Knott's, they've been doing this since last year, and Knott's has really been leading the way for a lot of these food
Knott's
festivals.
Is the best.
I mean, it's like top tier, and after this, I'm like, okay, Boysenberry again, Boysenberry again. Knott's, make us ambassadors. We love your stuff.
I mean, enough of the staff recognizes us.
Like, I walk in my Boysenberry outfit that I got, that I ordered from Iceland, and by the way, the designer, she's she's remaking the dress again, and she's taking special orders. So for Boysenberry fans, link in bio. Check out Lady Sloth if you want your Boysenberry dress, because I know I can order a new one too.
And of course, everyone knows my general just ecstatic nature whenever I get to go to Knott's, even without the rides. Although Fairy Tales win.
Yes, Knott's, they haven't announced their opening date yet. They estimate sometime in May, probably after Boysenberry Festival. And honestly, I'd rather have Knott's like just kind of wait a while so they can get the bells and whistles going for Fairy Tales. I'd rather have them take their time at this, because now that Disney has like an April 30th opening, I mean, anything can change from here and now, but I'm like just very nervous. Just if this level of organization is what we're gonna see when the Disneyland Resort opens up again, I'm like, I can wait a while and I can like book like 2 Florida trips. Yeah, that sounds good. 2 Florida trips, and just kind of sort of retire from the Disneyland Resort for maybe a year or so, because this was disorganized.
Not a good experience.
It's not worth the $75 per person. Not worth it at all.
So here's how things go. We were shuffled into the Mickey and Friends lot. There are no trams. So you are walking that tram path all the way to the park.
And then you also have to walk back.
And you gotta walk back, yes.
I did this
fun.
route during grad night, and like grad night, it's like, okay, it's night, like, hey, we're going to Disney, we're gonna party at Disney. You kind of had that mentality, and we had one of the hottest days of the year. Well, so far, so far in Southern California, it peaked like what, 90 degrees today?
Yeah, my phone lied to me. It said it was only gonna go up to 85. It went up to 90 or 91. Yeah.
And like, yeah, we were just kind of like just walking that route to the main park. Oh, and then also from the main park, from that entrance, you kind of also kind of had to select your land. So that's like, okay, you're not really going in relaxed. You're kind of going in like just really hot and sweaty and just trying to figure out. And remember, there's very limited seating at the front of the like DCA.
There's limited seating in DCA in general.
Oh yeah, we'll get into more of that. Because like, okay, you just kind of want to just catch your breath after like just walking that route, or maybe you just want like a bottle of water or something. And you and I, when we were just kind of like just sitting down, just kind of figuring out our game plan, we were like, okay, let's check out Lamplight Lounge to see if they're taking up reservations. They were booked, like not surprised. Lamplight Lounge is amazing.
And no, I mean, look, if I'd known that we would have to like call the day before or whatever and set up a reservation, we totally would have done that.
We probably would have done that, but I think we just dropped the ball on that one.
I didn't know it was going to be a thing. I figured, most of the times we've been able to get in, no problem.
And because
I miss my lobster nachos so much.
I miss my potatoes, and I want to try more of their boozy drinks, because I love their boozy drinks.
They do have good boozy drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So that was already off the list. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. We'll go to the quick service restaurants, not that big a deal. And then we had issues with the things. So, as we said, other events and even previous Disney events have used the card system. This time they gave us essentially a dining plan card, which has $25 on it.
It's like a gift card
Basically.
that you can just use like on anything at the park, and we were giving a lot of misinformation about it.
It was one of those ones where you'd think, oh, then we just take the card and we slide it in, like a credit card kind of thing, or a gift card. Nope. You had to
put it in
put
the
it
mobile
into
app
your mobile app.
as you're ordering.
And it's done via a very specific way. Because you put a promotion code, it's not a promotion code. It's a dining plan code or whatever, which goes into a different section.
It's like a 12-digit code that goes in as you're paying. Because I thought like the simple way was like, okay, we have the tickets. Maybe it's already automatically in our mobile app. No,
Yeah.
It's not. You have to manually enter it in. And we're a party of 2, so we have to enter it into my mobile app because I'm usually the one doing all the ordering on my phone.
It's just easier that way.
Yeah.
So we had to have, and we'll probably be in the footage,
Yes.
of our quest to try to figure out how to get the card to work in the thing. And apparently we weren't the only one, because multiple cast members told us that other people were having issues too. Correct.
So here's a pattern of this. So you've probably seen in the footage, like we were. This is not just kind of like just a pattern of like miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
So custodial cast members were like, yeah, just go ahead and just talk to like just one of the people like right by Cozy Cone, because we were just kind of like realizing this issue when we were just sitting down. Goes to the guy at Cozy Cone. He says like, oh, you need to go to guest relations outside of DCA. So guest relations is like this kiosk right by the bathrooms when you exit DCA.
Yeah, you had just head out and around on DC, and you get there completely closed down, so much so that like
You saw the footage.
Yeah, you saw the footage. We kind of yelled a little bit. A cast member kind of popped out and said, "We're closed."
They told us to come here.
Talk to the people at the gates. They'll probably know. And then we had to go around to the gates again, talk to them, and thankfully the person there was.
They were able to get their higher ups to just resolve, and we were able to just kind of put it in order in for Monte Cristo, and they were able to just help us resolve that issue. And I'm like, Disney, just please make this simple. Like, I was fine with like the punch cards. I was fine, like, even if you wanted to like do something that was like tablets, do like a QR code scannage type of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways they could have made this easy, and they chose the least easy way.
The least effective way, because Because I'm like one of those people, like, I don't do well when I put in, like, all these digits and numbers, because sometimes I just have, like, shaky hands, especially when you're hungry, especially when you want to eat something. You're kind of in that hangry mode. And you're like, okay, am I getting everything right here? Yes, I am.
The other thing I'm going to bring up is anyone who didn't have the app, who went to the park, suddenly had to try to download an app with the connection that you can get at a Disney park, which is terrible.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because thankfully I brought my charger with me, which is a must anytime you go to these theme parks.
If you're going to be using your phone at any point.
Because everything when you order is all app dependent. You have to order through the app, and you'll find your order status on the app. So like ordering food is like getting a fast pass. So like when I was just kind of like just browsing through and seeing like the open times when I could pick up stuff, like it'll be 2 o'clock, and the next mobile order for Dole Whip over at the Domino Snowman place is like 3 hours later. Hence, 3 hours to wait for a Dole Whip.
Yeah. And that was at noon, I think, or no.
No, it's 2 o'clock,
2 o'clock,
and it was like
for
5
that?
o'clock
Yeah, that's right.
on the app. So it's almost like you're making a fast pass for a mobile order.
Which in and of itself isn't a bad thing.
Because we've done mobile order in the past, but the wait for, like, even when it was ready, when the window of opportunity is ready, that was also ridiculous, because at Smoke Jumper's Grill, I decided to order alcohol. Alcohol's not included in the voucher type thing. You have to kind of pay that out of
makes
pocket.
sense, yeah.
Which is fine. Which Knott's also does the same thing. Like, no, they don't.
Depends.
Do they? Okay, I forgot.
We've had times where it's been part of the card, and we've had times where it's not.
So we ordered some.
Because when we got the Glühwein, I think the Glühwein was extra, but I think when I got a boysenberry beer once, I believe it was on the card.
Yeah. So.
I think it's dependent.
So we had like 2 orders kind of like overlap on the time thing. So we had the Bengal barbecue skewers at Cochina, which is in one side of the park, and then we had our rum and coke and whiskey and coke over at Smoke Jumper's Grills.
Yeah.
2 different sides of the park.
And it is almost impossible to find a seat. So it becomes
You have to
thing
go 2 times around to Cochina, around Pacific Wharf
till we
to
finally found a
get
place.
a seat, and we were able to find like this large table, and we felt bad because we were a party of 2, but we were like, you know what, if there's another party too that looks like they're lost, like, you know, come join us at the far end of the table, like we don't mind.
Because we've done that at Knott's. We're on one of those benches, and we got a family of, or friends or whatever on one side, and us on the other side, and it's no big deal. We're not, that kind of weird paranoid, plus we have our vaccinations, so it's even less in that category. But
sir.
it always feels weird, when you're the 2 here. But the one thing I was going to say is, if you are going to this, you need to have a table sitter. No matter how many people are in your group.
You gotta teamwork this.
You need to have one person guarding the table, the rest of you scatter to gather the food and bring it back like a colony of ants bringing everything back to the queen. You have no choice on this, because if you go and grab your food and then look for a place to sit, it could be 5, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes before you find a seat. And, when you're hungry or when you're really thirsty and you just want to sit down, take off the mask, and stuff your face, walking around forever to try to find a seat is not the first thing on your mind.
Yeah, and also when I was getting stuff at Smoke Jumper's Grill, it was just 2 drinks. I had to wait almost 40 minutes for those drinks to come out. And I wasn't the only one who had that issue, because I was just kind of overhearing some other guests like, hey, these are just 2 drinks. Why do I have to wait like for more than 10, 20 minutes for these drinks to come out, And then, like, thankfully, I went up to the person who was checking folks in, and they were like, yeah, like, we'll tell you how much longer you have to wait. And thankfully, the moment I mentioned my name and asked, oh, how long do I have to wait? I immediately was able to get in, because like my app just kind of just popped up, like, oh, you're ready. And then I have to wait in another line, another 10 minutes to get said drinks, and then get from one side of the park to the other side of the park. Fun.
Which at least I was closer to one of those 2 things. You're able to drop off the first set of food,
and
drinks
then,
in the Monte Cristo, and then
once we got
over to Smoke Jumpers.
And then once we got the, and then once I got the rum and coke and stuff from Smoke Jumpers, then Kachina, that opened up, and I eventually got us of these here. So we had like a huge like sampling dinner type thing. We had our 2 cherry Cokes, we had our alcohol, and we had our skewers from Bengal barbecue served from Cucina, and then he had his Monte Cristo because he loves his Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, we're just gonna like just numb here for like a little bit. We're gonna stick around here for a
We
while.
sat there for like 2 hours after that, just eating and drinking and just not wanting to move again.
Because like, yeah, let's sit here, let's enjoy this breeze because the sun was just kind of coming down. And like, we were just kind of thinking like just how stressful this was because at other events like Universal and Knott's, it's like you just kind of like just show up, you pick up your stuff, and you probably wait like less than like maybe 20 minutes, I'd say. When we had butterbeer, like
we got that instantaneously.
Yeah, like just for drinks, like just instantaneously.
Yeah, depending where you were going to go. If you were going to go to the Three Broomsticks, it's going to be a bit longer than if you're grabbing a lard lad donut or a butterbeer. Though at the end of the night, that lard lad line,
they're just like getting like all those lard lad donuts out.
Everyone's killing their cars.
I do appreciate the fact that the lard lad donuts they're like boxed up already, so you can just take that home with you. So you kind of like have a to-go type of thing. Because that's something we learned at Knott's. It's like, okay, sometimes you're going to have like a to-go type of thing because like some of the portions are really huge. So we strategize and bring our own Tupperware at times.
Yes, versus the times where I tried to force everything in and I got sick. So, pro tip, yeah, always bring some Tupperware if you're going to the Knott's. Some of those portions are huge.
Now, good things about this event, I like the photo pass. I'm really looking forward to like just downloading my photo pass things. All the photo pass photographers you met, you are awesome. I don't blame the cast members on foot on this because they were just doing the best they can. And what it seemed, because as of someone who has organized events before, this seemed like a lot of miscommunication and a lot of mismanagement from the higher up. So I'm more so glaring at them like this could have been planned better, this could have been organized a lot better, and like just ordering food could have been so much more efficient than just relying on mobile order, relying on like entering a card into your app each time you order.
In addition to that, there should have been more setups for the popular items. There should have been 2 machines or kiosks or whatever for Dole Whip. Dole Whip's super popular. There's no reason not to have extra Dole Whip locations. There were multiple churro locations, like one Dole Whip location. And that's kind of a problem there. I understand certain things, like, okay, there's only so many people who want Bengal barbecue. There's only so many people who want, a Monte Cristo. Yeah. And you can get burgers and dogs and stuff. You can go to a Word Wieners and get yourself a corn dog, which are really good. But, some things are so popular they make plushies out of them. And this includes Mickey Pretzels, Dole Whip, and Mickey Bars. Now, Mickey Bars are whatever.
You can get us a Target.
The pretzels were found at multiple locations, but again, the Dole Whip, like one zone. And you can't tell me there's not multiple locations of freezers because there's multiple places to get ice cream at DCA. So there should be multiple places to get Dole Whip at DCA.
Yeah, I just really felt this could have been done so much better. And when you have a neighboring theme park like Knott's that has really perfected like the art of like having food festivals in Southern California.
And by the way, you can get certain items at multiple different locations. So it never, if you look at one place and the line's a little you can go to another place and go, oh, that line's shorter, and there's 2 things I want on this menu. Boom, done. And I don't know why Disney wouldn't do that. It's kind of baffling to me that they would be so haphazard of how they're running this. And like you said, the cast members were a class act. Great people.
Love you all. I love my cast members.
I feel sorry because I'm sure there's a lot of people who were angry about either how the dining card worked, how the app was working.
And the cast members on the ground had to take that crap. And like, I don't blame the cast members on the ground. I blame the higher ups for mismanagement and making this much more complicated because I could tell there were some cast members who weren't aware about the bugs and the issues in the app because like I said in the video, I'm not the type of person to complain about Disney. I'm not a person who's like, yeah, like this ruined my day kind of thing. But this was like just like one of the very rare times where like, Disney, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, we made the best of the bad situation, but this should have been so much better. This was one of those things I was kind of looking forward to because we're going to see what the park is going to be like when they start to open up because I figured this was going to be the test run they were doing. Which I think we both agree this is essentially the test run.
Yeah.
And if
don't
this
want
is
to be
what
a
it's
guinea
going to
pig.
be like, oof.
I think they'll wait a while.
You know, it's one thing when it's a ticketed event. A lot of people were families, what have you, and a lot of people just seem like they're just happy to be back on Disney property. But when the masses start coming back,
I'm not looking forward to
ooh,
it.
that's
I'm not looking
scary.
forward to it.
I do not envy the job of any cast member at that point. That is, especially town hall.
Oof.
Yeah.
With a line this long, it's got to be good. Yet, but
So, you know, the food was good. I mean, you saw the review already. You know, all the food turned out great. But the weights, the way it was handled, the cards, all that really,
I really don't think you need to
ruined
wait
the
like 40
experience.
minutes for a churro.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that? And I also noticed that there was like just like one person like situated like at certain places. Like, okay, this event is also short staffed too in terms of food services. And I know folks who want to be called back in for work, who are not being called back in for work, and like, yeah, you kind of need more people to like staff something like this. And also, something that we didn't mention is we waited about 4 hours to get tickets for Touch of Disney. So I was on the website at 9 a.m. I got the tickets like around 12:45 p.m. When they open up. While I was waiting for that, I got the tickets for Universal in like less than 5 minutes. And I just really
And I don't
felt...
think we've ever had an issue getting tickets for Knott's.
No, we never had an issue, and I probably should get some tickets right now for our next trips to Boysenberry Festival. But the thing with Disney is, like, I really thought they just oversold themselves because it felt like just any other day, like, at DCA. It was pretty crowded. I mean, people were doing their best to social distance their parties. Sort of, yeah.
I crashed into people multiple times, so I'm going on the rule that, or don't try that hard.
And like I know everyone was like just clamoring for shade or just to sit down and like social distancing. What's that at that point? Because I think I was just kind of leaning into the shaded part of Smoke Jumpers. Like I was just wearing my mask and just kind of like just chilling there. It's like, yeah, I'm just need to like just stand here in shade for a bit.
Now, granted, if this was a normal day at the park, people would be on rides and what have you, which would clear up some of the congestion. But it's not a normal day at the park. I know it's supposed to be 25% capacity. This felt more than 25% for DCA. It felt closer to 50%. And yeah, that's, whatever. I'm not, again, I have a vaccine. It doesn't really matter that much to me. But when you don't have the staff, when you don't have the food pickup locations, things like that to support that number of people, that's a problem. And that's not the kind of logistics problem that I would expect from Disney. I would expect them to plan this out and then to say, oh, Knott's, Universal, hold our beer, we got this. And everyone to come back and like, oh my gosh, this was the best food thing of all of them. I'm blown away, but no, it's the worst of all of them. I was expecting Universal to be the worst. I was like, oh, yeah, it's Universal. All right, let's try. No, I loved my time at Universal.
I had a great time at Universal. I wish I could do it again.
The themed food. I would love to go back there. And they're opening up soon, and we have a friend that wants to come along, and I have family that wants to check it out. So we might just go and do a family and friends trip there.
And I don't have to drive or deal with one of them.
That's the best part.
Yes, that's the best part.
But, come on, Disney. Get your acts together. You're better than this.
And the event is sold out, yeah, we can say that $75 just wasn't worth it. I mean, it was fine, like, when you and I were just kind of like hanging out, like, the sun was down, it was much cooler, just kind of like just sipping our drinks in Radiator Springs. And we love Radiator Springs when, like, it hits dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's
all the lights
such
on
a beautiful
and
place.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean,
it's kind of...
It's kind of like our date night kind of thing.
I was going to say it's kind of campy, but it's campy in a fun way.
And this is coming from someone who hates Cars.
Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of the Cars franchise, but Radiator Springs just has this fun... You know what it is? It's kind of like a more California version of Main Street. Because this feels like the small place you'd pass through when I have family in Northern California. So I have to pass through these small little nothing towns. That's what Radiator Springs reminds me of. All the small nothing towns. They got like a greasy spoon. They got like a gas station and a few other little things you'd stop by and then you just move on. And, I like that. Plus, when it all gets all neon at night, I love neon. It's one of the things I love about Vegas. It's just I like over unnecessary neon lights. It's the same thing with the boardwalk area of Knott's gets really nice as well when we get all the really really campy neon on. Something fun about that. But yeah,
if you have tickets to this event,
tickets, be warned.
Be warned. Plan ahead. Be sure to like get all your parties. When you get your like taste gift card type thing, your voucher, just be ready to punch all those numbers in.
Yeah, do it. And if you have any issues or whatever, just go directly back to the gate and ask one of the gate people immediately. Don't go on the long roundabout like us. So go for those little benches that are near Oswald Station. Just sit down on one of those. Take care of it immediately. And if it doesn't work, you can just jaunt right back and have someone help you. Because you don't want to be going all the way over to Radiator Springs or all the way over to Grizzly Peak or all the way over to just Pixar Pier and then have to go all the way back. Or hope you find a cast member who knows the protocols.
Yeah, also just remember, have a team with you, one to claim a table because tables will run out pretty fast. And also assign a person to be like a food runner.
Mm-hmm.
And also just kind of make sure that like your food times don't overlap with one another, because I made a mistake because I didn't know how long it would be to wait for food, because we've ordered through the mobile app before. We have like the souvenir buttons to prove it. Mm-hmm. And like usually it takes like less than 10 minutes after like you get your like time slot in. And I thought that would be the case, but
full park days. We've had those times going like, oh, we want some mango barbecue. Boop, 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 boop. All right, we'll finish up here at Jungle Cruise, and then we'll go on and get our food.
And juleps, yeah.
Yeah, the jungle julep. Jungle julep if it's available.
Mm-hmm. I love the jungle julep.
That's so good. So that's what we're used to, and that's what this should have been. If this is a test run for being opened up, it should have been a much smoother thing. I can't believe that a staff at Disneyland would be sitting there going like, what should we do? Oh, we'll just wing it. We'll just figure it out as we go.
And my staff, higher ups, just probably
higher ups. I'm not talking about the people on the ground.
Yeah, not like the cast members like on site, because we love you all, and I know you're working as hard and as best as you can.
Oh, you can tell. There's some of those people there where people were running up. I mean, when we were going to talk to one of the cast members about the card issue, we were like 6th or 7th in line of person after person after person talking to the poor guy until it was finally us. And if that's just a one little moment around 1, 2 o'clock, then that's got to be going on all day. That is a
And honestly, if this is going to be like the vibe for like the Disneyland Resort parks opening, I think we'll probably consider going to making a couple of trips out to Florida to get our Disney fix, because from what we've seen and what friends have reported to us, Florida theme parks seem to have their act together.
And at the very least, we still have Knott's, which is great, and maybe this is just our excuse to start becoming Universal people. Although, I mean, honestly, if they made Nintendo Land, just super speed that one, that would be really, really helpful.
I already have friends who want to do, like, Nintendo Dapper Day, and I tell, like, oh, can I feel like, I have, like, ideas for Daisy, I have ideas for Toadette to, like, make them look all dapper and fun stuff.
Yeah, I'll do Dapper Toad. He's my boy. Because of Super Mario Super Show. I love Toad in the Super Mario Super Show.
We got to meet his voice actor.
And ask him about his experience. It's great. But, obviously Nintendo Land will be a while off. However, in the meantime, we still got, Simpsons and Harry Potter, and ideally they open up the lower lot, and then that provides us with, Transformers, Jurassic World, others. Etc. Oh, and then all the DreamWorks and Illumination stuff they have there, so you can meet Donkey and.
Oh yeah, also Secret Life of Pets, the ride. It's so funny because like we've never seen, prior to Taste of Universal, we've never seen a Secret Life of Pets movie, but Netflix happened to be streaming them, so we ended up just watching the movies and
watched part 2.
We went straight into part 2. It's like we need something to entertain us. Chloe's best cat.
That was a very, very fun experience, and we're just like, oh, okay, we probably should have watched part 1 just to kind of know these characters' relationships, but...
I want all the Chloe merch now.
You can follow it pretty easily, and I liked Harrison Ford Dog. He was fun. But yes, you can tell that because we're sidetracking, talking about other parks, that gives you an idea of just how we're feeling after this. And I think you coined it right. It's more of a disappointment, less so than like anger. I'm not
mad.
I'm not angry.
disappointed.
I don't feel like, oh, I'm so entitled. There should have been instant line access for me. No, none of that garbage. I just wanted this to be a smooth, fun,
'Cause
hey, we're back
When
kind
you
of thing.
think Disney, you think like top of the line. You think Gucci bags.
Yeah, this is the premier park. This is the park that when people think of an amusement park or a theme, I should be not amusement park, a theme park, they think Disneyland or Disney World if you're on the East Coast. And when you're lagging behind the very small Universal and the, well, okay, it's not family run anymore, but the more or less family run Knott's, you know, and you're the mega corporation super park, the leader of the pack, and you're just trailing behind, I could go to Knott's for less than half the price. I can go to Universal for even less than that. I can get, you know, a butterbeer, a lard lad donut. I can get a boysenberry chili or a boysenberry beer and be a significantly happier person than if I have to make a reservation to hope I can get in a Lamplight Lounge. And even though I probably like the lobster nachos more than anything offered at the other two parks, the process for getting it and the hopes for getting it, or I could just go and know for sure I can go to Ghost Town Grill and get, you know, the Ghost Town nachos, which are also really good, or get a Ghost Town burger, or a chili, or what have you. Know I'm going to get it, know I'm going to have a good time. Plus I have, you know, Ghost Rider and Silver Bullet, so.
And I'm just down for going to Disney World again.
Oh yeah.
I'm totally down.
Underline
for
that
it.
twice.
Yes.
We have friends who want to go, and we're like, yeah, we'll share the hotel room. We'll get this up and running. And if we can go for one of the food festivals, that'd be great. If we're not, I'm still gonna have a great time. There's so many restaurants I still need to hit, so many places I need to do.
Drinking around the world.
And drinking around the world challenge, that'll be a thing.
So are you starting at Canada or Mexico?
Well, here's the thing. It depends what I get at Mexico, because if I do like a tequila-based thing, that's gonna slow me down. I'm gonna be like, you know, yeah, that's gonna slow you down. But if I'm just gonna get a Modelo, then yeah, we'll just begin in Mexico because, you know, I'll end on something I enjoy, which is Canadian. Well, I can like Canadian whiskey, but I'll settle for Canadian beer.
All right, I think that just pretty much just wraps it up for our thoughts on Touch of Disney. I'm not mad, just disappointed.
Yeah. Those of you who didn't get tickets, don't feel stressed or sad or anything.
There's no FOMO to this.
Yeah.
Like, ignore what Instagram is just trying to sell you. Like, there's no FOMO to this. Like, if you're in Southern California, Boysenberry Festival.
Yeah, go to that. You're going to have 5 delicious food items. You can watch my video for some recommendations on that, but honestly, I rarely ever find disappointments, and if it is a disappointment on there, it's because it's a type of food I don't personally like. But usually I will say what kind of people will like those foods. So if you watch, even watch the older ones where I eat the elote, which is not for me, but my family would probably wrestle each other over that if there was only one left.
All right, we're signing out right now, and remember, take it away.
We already did the... Okay, whatever. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. If you did go to Touch of Disney, let me know in the comments about your experience. I'm very curious about it. If you want to support the channel, there are new options in our description down below. And until next time, remember, no matter what park you go to, eat the magic.
We made you. We made you. We